We're here with Israel Sosa on the right, who of course we talked about earlier, won 2 consecutive regionals earlier in the year, and Brian Hill on the left. I recognize his name, but I'm not sure of his accomplishments offhand.
It's sad. I don't either. Anyway, this is Matthew Chin. I'm filling in for Kenny for this round.
All right, and we see Brian Hill open up with an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 Dark Energy, and he has a Boufflant and.
Is that a Dusknoir?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he has on the bench there.
I want to say it's a Dusknoir.
Perhaps a Dusknoir.
I want to say it's a Dusknoir on the bench. So it looks like kind of an odd Darkrai mirror here. Not exactly a mirror.
Yep, and Brian Hill plays down the N. So he's hoping to draw an energy. At least. Probably an Yveltal, assuming he plays that. So, see. Brian Hill deciding what to do. Ultra Ball again, discarding a Darkrai and
another Ultra Ball.
Yeah. For an Yveltal. So Brian Hill seems to be aware that Yveltal is the key in this mirror match. And Brian Hill misses the energy attachment his first turn after discarding those 2
never
energy.
good, not in the mirror match. Sosa, random receivers for the Getsus. Let's see what he does right off the bat. Random receivers again.
I do like the Getsus. I think that's a bit of an underrated card. Can go a long way.
It's very high risk, very high reward, but if you don't start with it, it doesn't seem as strong, especially not in the late game.
Absolutely. So Israel looks like he had a catcher and an N. Not sure what else. Plays the catcher. And tails.
I'm rocking those Steam Deck catchers.
Yeah, I do like that art. It's pretty nice. Searches his opponent's discard pile, attaches a Darkness to Yveltal EX, and a Muscle Band, and ends.
Didn't get this right off the bat. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think I might have gets us there since Brian didn't attach an energy last turn. So that means even less of his cards are non-trainers. So.
Yeah, it's just the odds of giving your opponent a good hand. It just seems your opponent's showing weakness. Why why would you let it? Why do you
capitalize on that
hand?
weakness? So Israel draws his cards, benches a Sableye, benches a Darkrai.
Laser flip.
Lasers. And can't tell what that was. Heads?
Heads. I see a 2. Well, it might be a 3.
What about Sableye after retreating? And he's going to pass.
Looks like he's going to pass, yep.
I'm not sure if Brian drew or not. This happened earlier as well, but just assume he did. Benches another Yveltal. And let's see what he decides to do. Attaches a Dark to his active Darkrai EX. Verbank City Gem and Colress for 6, which is not bad at all.
No, you're about equal to an N. You're actually, ideally you'd wait for a better situation, but, Colress does fine in a pinch right now.
Yep. So he's probably hoping for some dark patches here, since he got those early Darkness energy into his discard pile.
I still can't figure out what that basic is on his bench.
Yeah, the mystery basic.
Oh, that's a Dusknoir.
Okay.
Oh, Dusclops. Yeah.
Duskull.
Okay, yeah, that was a Duskull the whole time.
Evolved into Dusclops. So this certainly adds a different element to this mirror match. If Brian Hill is able to put down a bunch of Y-Cyclones or a bunch of Night Spears, he'll be able to set up multiple KOs at one turn onto Yveltal EXs, ideally.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is that now Darkrai actually becomes your most efficient attacker in this deck once you set up.
Yeah.
I mean, for you're basically doing 3 for 120, whereas Yveltal would have to just mass attach energy just to keep up. You're actually probably attacking more with Darkrai.
Yep. And Israel
junk
benches
hunting.
Keldeo and junk hunts, which is not a great sign for him.
No.
He did not play a supporter.
I was looking for free damage, really.
Yep. And it's just sort of an awkward turn anyway, so why not junk hunt?
Well, at least you're getting the disruption that you need. If you can try to keep, if you're going to be in this type of mirror match and he's attacking you, your best bet is probably to get as much disruption into play as possible to stop him from attacking you.
Yeah, if you can't get that Y-Cyclone, then may as well draw time.
Well, I haven't seen Brian Hill play a Keldeo or any type of real switching cards, so... So in this case, he's probably he is making the right play as long as your opponent doesn't, disrupt your hand or get to you. And I haven't seen any of that from Brian Hill either. I mean, when you run Dusknoir or any, for that matter, Garbodor, any type of deck, any type of other line in your Darkrai deck, something has to give, like something has to leave. Like whether it's your Getsuses or your lasers or something's not there.
Yeah, for sure. So we see the Keldeo from Brian. He'll be looking for that Dusknoir as soon as possible, but he does not see anything he needs, not even an energy. And passes the turn back over to Israel.
He had a dark energy in his hand. Let's see here. Oh,
so we see the Getsus.
And
muscle bands.
2 muscle bands gone.
And there was not a supporter in Brian's hand. So he's in a tough situation. I'm not sold on the Shauna yet. I haven't seen it do too many great things. Colress would have been better in every single situation I've seen it played.
Well, it does come down to how many basics you're running.
Yep.
Like, I definitely see, like, a good argument for running Shauna and a Genesect deck without any text, but in Darkrai, I mean, people just don't like starting with Colress.
Yeah.
The strongest... Colress's best showing is always in decks like Plasma, where you are just running nothing but basics, and there's not any tech or anything.
We are seeing more of those Plasma decks after its very strong showing in the past tournaments. So that makes Colress stronger.
Chase Maloney and Trevor Reed have just been ruining
crushing
people.
Everyone. So we see Brian promote Yveltal, attach another Darkness Energy, Hypnotoxic Laser, and he's going to Evil Ball.
Well, what I usually expect for such a dominating victory, you would think that people would be running more Enhanced Hammers in their decks.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in round 2 or 3, where that would have been very relevant if there had been more Enhanced Hammers in either player's deck. But we're not seeing very many of them. So we see the Hypnotoxic Laser from Israel's side for a heads. And he's going to be doing the same amount of damage, assuming he doesn't attach any energy. But he might look for a KO here. It's possible. He's currently
Junk Hunt
he
again.
Can't get it.
Yeah.
So he'll take the 30 free damage and hope the Yveltal stays asleep. Junk Hunting Ultra Ball and Pokemon Catcher. Brian flips heads on that sleep, which is pretty big.
Well, not the Dusknoir out of the matchup. I have to say the advantage in this game probably is going to Israel, just because you're playing disruption on disruption, and Israel's so sweet. It's just going to be so much stronger than yours.
Yep.
So
you just have those 3 or 4 spots dedicated to more consistency cards, or in this case, Getsus, it seems like, which will actually be effective against Brian's deck.
Well, considering that Brian hasn't drawn a supporter in a while,
He's just kind of dirtling
around, waiting for something to come up.
Yep.
If Israel gets another knockout, I would actually consider scooping here, just going to the next game. And you're not going to have enough time to finish a Darkrai mirror match in this amount of time. You like to win 2 games.
Yeah, we saw a Darkrai mirror tie last round, and that seems to be the case most of the time.
Is my mic on? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
It's kind of quiet.
No, I just...
Yeah, so we see Israel playing a Professor's Letter, looking for those Darkness Energy. He does not have a Darkrai in play, or his active is a Darkrai, my bad.
No, he has a Darkrai. Yeah.
So he's looking to retreat that Darkrai.
No, he's in fine shape right now. If I were Israel, I wouldn't worry right now. Bryanson's been sitting on 1 card for a while. And the only thing that really helps him right now is just drawing energy or drawing support or just getting draw cards. Like, those are the only things that Brian needs right now. Yeah. And maybe a lucky laser flip here or there. Like, he actually does need quite a bit.
Yeah, and Israel attaches yet another Darkness Energy to his heavily damaged Yveltal EX. But he'll get the KO here, so it's very worth it.
Well, I just don't see that Darkrai coming active anytime soon. He needs to Dark Patch it at least once. He needs to get an energy on the Keldeo, and I don't expect him to be running energy switches.
No, I don't either.
So there's not going to be, I don't think there's going to be a Darkrai coming into play anytime soon, especially not attacking the Yveltal. Oh, and he's...
Wow. Alright, so he flips the heads on catcher just to kind of put insult to injury here.
So, Mila, would you consider scooping here?
Yeah, absolutely. You're too far behind on energy attachments. You do have some hope in getting a Dark Patch and attachment to the Yveltal EX and coming back that way, but after this KO, it's so hard.
Yeah, yep, there's the scoop. All right, we'll go to the next game.
Yep. So a dominating performance from Israel there. He has been playing a similar deck all year, as far as I know. So with the addition of
at least it's what he's most famous for.
Yeah.
You know, he won those for those 2 regionals in a row with pretty standard Darkrai list. The only thing I remember was only having him having one Frozen City in his deck.
Yeah.
And that's actually what carried him against a lot of his Blastoise matches. What most people would cite would be the worst matchup for Darkrai.
Yep. So players shuffling up here. I don't know. We're just... Brian will hope to stick that Dusknoir. That would definitely turn things in his favor. But it's not easy, since Israel appears to play at least 3 catcher, maybe 4. So he can take care of that Dusknoir relatively easily, since it has weakness to all of his Pokemon.
Well, Israel also seems to run enough Sableye to give him the catcher flips that he needs. And
he's not afraid of using that Junk Hunt. Like we see, a lot of Darkrai players seem to be weary of using that.
Well, so it's very aggressive. It's a naturally aggressive deck, but when you're in the mirror match, you have a little bit more leeway in what you can do.
Yep. Both players cutting each other's decks here. Brian will go first, I'm sure, to get that energy attachment advantage. We see a couple catchers and a darkness energy in Israel's opening hand. Cannot see Brian's opening hand. And Brian starts Yveltal with Keldeo on the bench. Israel starts Sableye with Yveltal on the bench. So we see the Ultra Ball discarding 2 Dark again.
It's probably
from
the
Brian.
best possible start for a Darkrai deck.
Yep. He's going to hope to actually draw the Dark this time, though. Off of whatever supporter he probably ends up playing.
I'm trying to get an eye on Brian Hill's deck as he's leafing through it. And,
I would bet it's a very similar list to what we've seen from Mia Violet recently, who has top 8'd a couple of tournaments with the same deck. So, yeah. So maybe we'll see Darkrai. Oh, he attaches and passes, so no supporter. These are some awkward starts from Brian Hill. Israel flips the heads on his catcher to bring up a Darkrai EX.
Yeah, it's really just a bad start. I don't see any Dusknoir pieces in his hand or anything, any signs that the Dusknoir's disrupted his deck at all. It just seems like just a natural bad start.
Yep. So Israel finds another Yveltal EX, discarding looks like a catcher and maybe another Ultra Ball. And Junk Hunts for 2
catchers. Well, why
just
not?
putting on the catcher clinic here. And Brian, just attaches a Dark to that Keldeo and passes his turn. That's a real shame for him.
Oh, and there's the Keldeo. Yep. So it looks like my little theory was wrong. So he had to run the Keldeo.
Yeah, Israel benches that Keldeo. Thinks about benching another Sableye, but
you don't really want to bench much right now. I mean, now right now all of his Colresses are basically Shauna's. And good call. Good call. So
Israel also did not have a supporter. So he is in an equally awkward position. Except Brian actually has 2 Dark on that Yveltal EX. So arguably he's better off now. Draws his cards. He'll be hoping for a Dark Energy. He could actually KO that Sableye if he gets one. Or he has a Dark on that Keldeo already. So he'll take that pass.
That's 80 damage. That's a dead Sableye, no matter how you cut it. Reaching for the Darkrai.
Promotes Darkrai EX. on Israel's side.
Okay. Looks like Israel's a dark patch in his hand. If he gets another dark, he can get back in and start attacking.
Yep, it looks like he still does not have a supporter, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He still needs,
it back over.
Still needs some type of switching card. Which I'm not sure if he even runs, because this isn't a
I would
list.
doubt that he runs a switching card. Although we saw one from the previous round when it was not expected. And a Professor Juniper from Brian Hill. So he's finally got some stuff going, while Israel does not.
Well, that is the great debate, running Switch in a Darkrai deck that doesn't really need it. But at the same time, you get your you don't lose an energy attachment. And, playing Darkrai Garbodor versus Darkrai, like a lot of games where sometimes the Darkrai Garbodor actually sets up faster just because it has the float stone.
I am a fan of Switch, but see why people don't play it as well. And I don't think the Switch would actually help Israel that much since he's already in a severely disadvantaged position at this point.
Yeah, so it looks like we're looking for at this point, you kind of...
We're going to see a Night Sphere this turn from Brian Hill.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. I mean, now he's just going to start setting up that Yveltal for KO and making it cheaper to actually KO, which is just nasty.
So the Yveltal is actually in one-shot range from the Darkrai with a Muscle Band, Laser, and Burbank. And still no supporter from Israel's side.
Looks like we actually might see a full match here just because the two games have gone pretty quickly.
Yeah, Brian's just going to kind of machine gun down these Pokemon here, get through this as quickly as possible. Another Ultra Ball from Israel, discarding Ultra Ball and Pokemon Catcher. Searches for Darkrai.
And at 4-1, neither of these players are really in a position to really tie these games. Not much 2 rounds to go, so they have to be.
I think if it was the round after this one and they were 5-1, I would consider a draw, but not at this point. So Israel finally has a random receiver, it looks like. See what he chooses to do. That Darkrai is just a gigantic threat. It's very difficult for the Yveltal to KO it. He's going for it.
Yeah, it's 140
He's doing 140 right now.
No, 90. 90. Sorry,
chooses a White Cyclone. Save that energy.
Get the other Yveltal ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta say that Y Cyclone is just amazing.
Yeah, that's a really fantastic attack.
Just because it gives your other Yveltals a chance.
Yeah, it maintains your board position while also 2-hit KOing any relevant Pokemon in the format.
I know, we thought we'd never see a card as broken as Mewtwo. Yveltal seems to fill that role.
Just a Mewtwo on steroids. And we see Shauna after it looks like a Laser Heads.
It's one of those what were they thinking kind of cards. At the same time, though, I mean, the card itself is just absolutely devastating. But again, here in Washington, here in the Northwest, we actually haven't seen it winning a lot of tournaments outright, which I find interesting.
Yeah, Darkrai seems to just kind of fall down to Blastoise more often than not, and it also has some issues with the newer Plasma decks. But if you can get that Yveltal going, it's certainly hard to deal with.
Comes back to running those Enhance Hammers again.
Yep, absolutely. We see Y Cyclone from Brian's side for 90 onto the Yveltal EX. Israel energy switches onto his Yveltal EX on the bench with 60 damage. Attaches a Muscle.
If you want to maintain any sort of board position, though,
and this is a pretty big N here.
That Darkrai has to go.
Yep.
And he already put 2 catchers back into his deck. I mean, he hasn't played that many afterward. So this will be interesting. What would you say is right play, right? Try to kill the Darkrai as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely.
The rest of the Yveltals don't set up. Yeah.
Yep. Assuming Brian doesn't draw anything off this end, then Israel might be able to work his way back into this game, but it will still be very difficult.
Oh, there's an Enhanced Hammer.
Very critical Enhanced Hammer here. I'm not sure what was benched there. There's a lot of glare.
Buffalon.
Alright, yeah. Goof to the bench. Bike for 3.
This is going to be a crazy turn for Israel.
Yeah. I don't believe he'll be able to KO anything.
And here's the catcher.
Here's the catcher. This is big.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the heads onto that
boy.
Darkrai.
Here it comes.
Man. Israel just getting what he needs here. And we see Y Cyclone. Israel continues to maintain his energy on the board despite working back from such a severe disadvantage.
Going for the
Very
Buffalant
impressive.
now.
And Israel still has the advantage off of that end. By 1 card.
2.
I believe Brian has 3.
Is that,
I think he
is it
drew
covered?
3 last time.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not sure.
right.
2 or
That's
3.
right. That's right. He's KO'd a. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He's KO'd a Sableye and.
Yeah, that pesky little Sableye.
Yeah.
So he draws 3 cards. Might be able to KO the Yveltal if he drew very, very well, but nope, just Evil Balls. Puts it at 160, 10 short of KO. That's just a heartbreaker. And we see the chorus for 7. And Israel has just kind of miracled his way back into this game after 4 or 5 turns of having absolutely nothing.
And Brian needs a Darkrai now.
Yep. So we're probably looking at a Gold Breaker this turn. And then that Yveltal with 160 will still be relevant because it can go for a 1-hit KO or another Y-Cyclone.
Well, killing that Darkrai is just so key because that Yveltal was as good as dead until he was able to take the Darkrai off the board.
Israel might even... Nope, he goes for the 140.
Yep. Does not have the Verbank laser yet.
Nope, but it is in Night Spear range or Verbank laser range.
I'm not sure how Darkrai's going to be relevant for the rest of this game. We're getting pretty much near the end of this game. I mean, he has to get 3 energy on the Darkrai, so it's a series. It'd be a series of energy switches.
It's not insanely unreasonable. He can energy switch, Dark Patch, attach, 2 energy switches, just various ways to get there.
Yeah, well, they burn through a lot of deck, and we'll see. Like if it were me, I would definitely be going for a Darkrai right now. But
true.
Well, then again, no, that's not true either. Remember, Brian doesn't have a Darkrai in play, so he's basically stuck attacking with whatever he has active.
Yep.
I mean, unless he's willing to pay the 2 retreat costs on his Keldeo just to retreat that Yveltal, or just retreat the Yveltal outright.
Yeah, this is a very tough position to come back from at this point, especially since even if he KOs that Buffalant, he'll still have to KO another EX Pokemon.
Well, we see the Duskull on the bench, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. But
yeah, that certainly presents a threat. It's possible that Brian does not play Rare Candy. Some of these decks that are playing Dusknoir don't.
Well, there's just a lot of deck to go through to get the rest of his Dusknoir line in play.
Yep, and we see a Dark Patch from Israel's side. Just 1 step closer to that Darkrai. Being able to attack.
Oh, there's 1 Dark Patch.
And
yep, going for the Darkrai.
Goes for the Darkrai.
Not that he has much. Yeah, I mean, going with the Yveltal would immediately lose him the game right now, but not with 2 prizes to go.
Yeah.
You basically have to think that Brian has the energy, especially drawing on 2 prizes.
Yeah, and I believe that Yveltal, that has 140 on it, so he can't attack it with Sableye or anything sneaky like that. Random receivers for an end, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, when you knock him down to 2 cards, those 2 prizes that you just drew just didn't do anything now.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for the Sableye. I guess he's going to go for the Dark Patches.
Sableye, yep. That's absolutely fine here.
Well, 2 prizes to go. It also makes your end stronger if he has any left.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I haven't been keeping a running count on the number of ends Israel has played, so...
Yeah, these ends get very chaotic with Dowsing Machine and both players playing 4.
Well, we've seen the Dowsing Machine. Well, you could junk him for the Dowsing Machine and then get another end.
Yep.
I mean, it can get certainly silly.
Endless ends. So we see the Verbank and no laser. So just a junk hunt for a catcher and more than likely Dowsing Machine. I would assume. Since Dowsing Machine allows him to play to whatever situation comes up, but he decides to just go for the second catcher.
I'm surprised he didn't just get the catcher. I mean, the Dark Patches. I imagine that would be pretty crucial right now, just to get your last, because your last attacker is probably going to be your Darkrai. It's not going to be either of these Yveltals.
Drawing into those Dark Patches is much better than drawing into those catchers. at this point.
Well, I just don't see many targets other than that Dusknoir, and even then, you have to have an attacker anyway, so I probably would have gone for the Dark Patches first over the catchers. I'm trying to figure out.
The problem is that if Brian does get that Dusknoir, he just wins. So Israel is doing everything he can to prevent that. We see a professor's letter from Brian for 1 Dark Energy. So I think next turn Israel will be looking for a catcher heads onto the Dusknoir with a KO onto the Dusknoir and the Yveltal EX. That's the dream.
That's the dream. Oh, and he's actually put himself in the situation where that can actually happen.
Yep.
Wait, why? Why would he? I'm trying to figure out why he attacked with that.
Maybe he doesn't expect Israel to be able to get that Darkrai online. But it does seem very risky. That
seems very risky. I should just give him the prizes because they're just you're almost begging for your opponent to just take the game from you right then and there. I mean, because all he needs is an energy switch.
So, yep, he needs to get this Darkrai online. He needs.
Oh, and there's the Juniper.
All right.
Let's see if it pays off.
He very critically needs a catcher heads. Is what's going to be a big deal here, along with a way to get that Darkrai attacking. He's kind of staring at his cards a little long, which is usually not a great sign.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
We see the catcher.
And the dead Sableye.
Yeah, Israel might have whiffed here.
Yeah. Well, as I said, look exactly like what you said earlier immediately. I mean, if he draws into those catchers, they don't really do much. And it seems like he has. Might have been the junk hunt that got him.
He passes. So if Brian gets the Dusknoir here, it's game over.
It doesn't look like... Nope. If he had the Dusknoir, he would have played it by now. So, yeah, it looks like...
His hand is very small.
Looks like both decks are going to plot a little bit until someone draws the key card they need to win.
And Israel has another N in his hand. Oh, there's the slow roll Juniper.
Oh, here it comes. Can you imagine the Dusknoir being prized? I don't see the Dusknoir either.
Yeah. Let's see.
Nope, there's a Dark Patch.
Dark Patch.
And here's the giant Yveltal.
He might attempt to go for Darkrai here, but... No.
The evil Yveltal from the Netherrealm.
I suppose it's possible for him to actually KO this Keldeo.
Oh, here's the computer search.
Well, okay. King of the slow roll, Mr. Brian Hill.
Here it comes. And discarding the Ultra Ball and the Bouffalon. All right, he's pretty confident. And there it is. All right.
That was the slowest of rolls.
There's the GG for game 2. So it's 1-1, Brian Hill against Israel Sosa.
Yep. So we'll go into game 3 here. This might actually have enough time to finish. Both of those games were pretty quick.
2 a little bit longer than 1, I think.
Yeah. If not finish, we'll get very, very close. A tie would put these players in a tough position. They'll have to win 2 more rounds to make top cut. So Israel at least gets to go first this game. Again, looking for that lead in the Yveltal War. And that Dusknoir just really turning the tides.
I mean, Israel had a lot of opportunities to win that game, and I think part of it was just that Dark Patch for the catchers.
Yeah.
I think that really hurt him.
Yeah, but on the flip side, he did need the catchers because that Dusknoir was pretty much Brian's win condition.
I mean, we probably would have at least considered a split. 1 Dark Patch, one Pokemon catch, just to make sure you had it.
I would have liked to have seen the dowsing machine. Because it allows you to adapt to situations so much more efficiently.
But at the same time, your opponent has an N, and you only have 4 cards. If you draw the dowsing machine, you get rid of most of your hand. The dowsing machine, so you're going to do dowsing machine for a bicycle. You can't. You can't have everything at once. You have to draw. You have to draw at least a Dark Patch and a catcher off of an N. And if one of those cards is the dowsing machine, you would have to have the other, which isn't necessarily going to happen. And then at the same time, afterward, you wouldn't even have a hand.
Yeah, and we see a mulligan from Israel here, which is unfortunate, but, probably not too critical.
Not with Getsus and N in his deck. I wouldn't worry too much about your opponent mulliganing. In fact, I think if you start with a Getsus, you actually get stronger.
That's true. It's all planned.
Oh, it's totally part of the plan.
Oh, so we see a Duskull start from Brian here.
That is
to an
not
Yveltal
pretty.
Start of Israel with Keldeo on the bench for Brian.
No, remember the KO Dusknoir is really what sealed Brian's fate in the first game, and it looks like he's right. He's definitely in a situation where it can happen again.
Yep, and we see that N to negate the mulligan draw. A Dark Energy and Muscle Band. Very strong start for Israel.
Everything he needs.
So Brian will be desperately searching for a way to get that Duskull out of the active position, which is not too difficult. It only has 1 retreat cost. But Israel will probably do whatever he can to find a catcher heads next turn to get rid of that Duskull as quickly as possible. So Ultra Ball, and
discarding a DCE.
It's a little risky there. Probably searching for either a Yveltal or a Buffalant.
All I can say is,
Oh, Keldeo. Okay.
Keldeo.
Doesn't want to fall victim to that laser, I guess. And he'll pass the turn. So, Ryan benches a Darkrai. And plays an Ultra Ball. Definitely getting that Yveltal EX just to combat Israel's Yveltal EX. Although I suppose he could go for Sableye for something to retreat into. That also... okay, he goes for the Yveltal, which is strong play. He might be able to... see, Dark Patch onto the Yveltal.
And it looks like he's going to at least try to get the dark energy for the Keldeo. I'm surprised he didn't just play the escape rope right off the bat. I mean, just get that Duskull out of active.
Yeah,
you don't want that to be there ever.
If we see a Dark Energy and an Energy Switch from Brian Hill, he could actually get the first attack onto Israel's Yveltal EX, which would be pretty huge.
Well, there's definitely some risk in Brian's play right now, and he would need an Energy Switch for the Keldeo. Yeah, I'm not sure about that line of play. And he just attaches the DCE to the Duskull. Is he going to sacrifice the Duskull?
I guess so. Oh no, he rushes in.
He rushes in. Okay. Alright, so we'll just let the Keldeo take damage, which is fine too.
Yeah. Probably irrelevant in the scope of things. Israel looking at a Dark Patch onto his Darkrai. Maybe has the double colorless in hand for Y Cyclone this turn. And just setting up that Darkrai EX. Yep.
Oh.
That double colorless energy goes onto Yveltal EX. And we see an early Dazzling Machine, discarding an Energy Switch and another Darkrai EX. Not sure what he's going to get here. Seems...
Well, most likely I see a Y Cyclone this turn. I can't see him attacking with Evil Ball right now this turn.
Yeah, we'll see a Y Cyclone.
Not with not with Yveltal riding shotgun on the bench. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So looks like it might look like a Darkrai game. Well, I mean, I guess it depends what Israel gets off of here. If he gets another Yveltal, I'll probably go to the Yveltal.
Israel might be looking at sniping off that Duskull with Night Spears, since it's not super easy for Brian to get Dusclops online.
I mean, how large do you think that line is in that deck?
It's definitely a 1/1/1.
Oh man, that is a rough way to play it. Oh,
so we see
a very key enhanced hammer.
Enhanced hammer again from Israel.
Oh, looks like we're going to. It might be going to the Buffalant.
We'll see the catcher. Maybe a heads. Oh, Israel just landing those catchers when he needs to.
That is one gone Duskull. Oh,
and a Y Cyclone. So maintaining his options on the board. That Y Cyclone, getting rid of Brian's options. We saw how critical that Dusknoir was last game. And Brian will get the first attack onto this Yveltal EX, which is nice for him. But definitely an unfortunate turn of events. So we see a Bouffant from Brian.
Does Brian even run a Super Rod or anything?
Nah.
Seen anything like
we
that?
haven't seen one in either game, so going to assume no.
And what do you do when you have a Juniper and the only thing in your hand is a Dusknoir? It's just
Well, you're a little disappointed at that point. So we see a Dark onto the Darkrai, and Yveltal will Evil Ball for 120, I believe.
and
100?
that
It's 100.
and Israel's definitely in a situation where he just where he can potentially one-hit KO that Yveltal.
Absolutely.
And I think he's going for it.
He might just be looking for a Gold Breaker here, but if he does draw the laser and Burbank, that will give him the one-hit KO.
And he has one energy on the Darkrai, so so potentially, he could be you don't really need the laser flip as long as Brian isn't running any type of healing, and we haven't seen any of that from him in this game either.
Yeah, either way, this Gold Breaker for 140 is very, very strong, putting Yveltal EX into Night Spear range. See Professor's Letter or a Muscle Band. Hypnotoxic Laser. That would mean he only needs the Burbank, but I assume he would have slammed it by now.
Yeah, Israel definitely has the advantage on board right now.
So you see the laser.
Oh, and there's the laser. Heads. Not completely relevant. Really just a -1 energy to Brian Hill.
Just a slightly larger amount of damage. I'm actually not sure I would have played that laser there, but
well, again, a -1. Playing that laser takes away an energy drop from Brian Hill if you get heads and if it sticks, because now he would have to Keldeo to save the No, I'm not sure why you would laser there. I guess you're trying to save the. Oh no, yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, he's not going to be attacking with Yveltal anytime soon, because now he has.
Yep.
It actually makes perfect sense now, because now he has to retrieve the Yveltal, because it's going to die on Israel's turn, which you absolutely don't want to happen in any type of Darkrai matchup, because it means a free junk hunt. It means a free tons of things for Israel. I mean, he can just sit there and not attack. He can sit there and just send up in a punching bag for your opponent. Just chump like a Keldeo or something.
Just
instead.
Putting Israel very, very far ahead. So we're probably going to see Brian just letting the poison tick away at that Bouffant. And he attaches a Dark to Keldeo.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, Dark went to the Keldeo anyway.
So Bouffant will be KO'd this turn. But that was definitely the safe way to play that situation. At the cost of one laser. So see Professor's Letter for 2 Darkness Energy.
I just don't see what Brian Hill does in this situation. I don't see a Sableye. I don't see a Yveltal. He doesn't have any options. I mean, he's kind of just passing. In fact, I haven't seen any of those cards from him. Like, no. Have you seen a Sableye or anything?
No, I don't believe we've seen either. I assume he plays Sableye. He might not have room for the baby Yveltal, given that he plays Dusknoir. But
no Sableye. It's interesting. I just haven't seen one, and I haven't seen him really go for one. And this would be the perfect situation to have a Sableye too. Just because you're behind on drops, you're behind on board, you're behind on all kinds of things, and this the only way you're going to get ahead in this game is going to be able to dark patch out, and you're not going to be able to dark patch out unless you have some way of getting those dark patches back, or just running Baby Y, just anything right now.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. So we'll see the Russian probably retreating back to Yveltal for the KO.
Yep. Definitely the KO.
So just putting Israel in a very strong position to Night Spear this Yveltal. Perhaps. The Darkrai only has 1 energy, so.
Yeah, but the Yveltal does. So one energy switch will do it, 1 dark patch will do it, and there's the energy. It looks like they might just KO the old-fashioned way. Why not?
Yep.
The only problem I can see with this situation is that you really don't, because that Darkrai is sitting right there on the bench, the counter KO's coming.
This Yveltal that Israel just dark patched to will be able to respond to that Darkrai relatively well. The 180 HP is actually very annoying, but
Yeah, I have to remember, Yveltal does an even amount of damage. So there's not much difference between 170 and 180 when you're playing with Yveltal EX.
yeah, it changes though when you have Laser and Burbank, which turns into odd numbers. So we see Baby Yveltal from Brian.
Yeah, because you can. I mean, if you're able to attack, you're going to get at least 120 damage. So
Yep.
yeah, it would be one energy. Yeah, it would be. You would need the energy straight up. That's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Amelia.
Yeah, so the Night Spear putting 30 onto an Yveltal with a Dark Energy on it.
But I don't see another dark energy on his Yveltal. Oh, we see a baby Y. Y on the far left of Brian Hill's bench. Okay, well there's one support attacker.
So Israel decides to promote that Darkrai. Looks like he's going for the KO onto the Darkrai this turn.
All right.
We'll see if he can pull it off.
Let's see here. He has 140 damage in play, so he would need a DCE, and he just dark patched that Yveltal. Definitely a possibility.
And just an end to 3. This is
discarded DCE earlier in this game. Might come back to bite him.
true. We might just see a Y Cyclone at this point.
Well, no, maybe not.
If he can find another way to get an energy that isn't a double colorless.
Well, anything to build another Darkrai.
Yep.
I mean, you're not seeing many other attackers from Brian Hill right now, and he needs it. And Brian needs an energy.
And I don't see the double colorless from Israel.
No.
So he'll have to decide what to do in this situation.
Definitely not the one I'd want to be in right now. Oh,
Professor's Letter.
Professor's Letter.
That won't get him there, unfortunately.
Gives him some junk hunt options. I mean, he does have the free retreat.
Yeah, he'll be.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would be. I'm not sure if I would attack with Yveltal here. I mean, at the same time, he doesn't have any other attackers.
I think you go for the Y Cyclone just because Darkrai. I guess Darkrai is only a laser away from KOing this Yveltal, but you'll put 110 onto the Darkrai while also setting up your own Darkrai. So after Brian's Darkrai KOs Israel's Yveltal EX, he'll be able to KO Brian's Darkrai with his own Darkrai.
So it really depends on whether Brian Hill can recover from losing his Darkrai.
Yep.
Oh, he's going for the Yveltal.
Interesting.
Huh.
I would have gone for the
Tool
Darkrai there
Scrapper.
just because of the 180 HP. It's much harder to KO a Darkrai than it is to KO an Yveltal. So we see another end. Puts both players at 3 cards.
I mean, both players are kind of running out of gas now because their strongest card is N.
If Brian misses the knockout here, Israel will be in a very good position. We'll have to see if he can pull this off. Computer search. I assume he's going to search for the laser and just hope that these 2 prizes give him something to keep his hand in the game.
And there it is.
Yep, so we see the laser
Rocking
off
that
the computer
foil
search.
laser.
And this will knock out Israel's active Yveltal EX while also putting 30 damage onto a bench Pokemon.
Also the other Yveltal. Why not?
Yep, numbers work out slightly better.
Ouch. All I can say is ouch.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult.
One thing Hammy said, though, is that Brian Hill didn't have an energy in his hand. And it seemed like that would have... I mean, if anything, that would have... If I were Israel, I would have been a little bit more concerned. And there's no energy yet.
Yeah, definitely.
So...
And even if...
I can only guess that Brian Hill's hand's kind of weak, even after that Juniper, which is a bit surprising.
Yeah, if Brian is able to get his benched Yveltal EX online next turn, he more than likely won't be able to take a KO without a catcher heads. So we're looking at a Night Sphere this turn from Israel Sosa.
Yeah.
And KOing the Darkrai while putting 30 damage onto what I assume will be the benched Yveltal EX.
No arguments there.
Maybe the baby Yveltal, but I don't see that happening, really.
You can always put damage on it.
Yep.
Oh.
So he goes for the Yveltal EX.
I mean, the baby Yveltal isn't that much of a threat. I mean, the only thing he would do is gain... Like, unless he's attacking twice with that baby Yveltal, it's actually not going to do much here.
Yeah, for sure. So Brian
Juniper.
opts to play Juniper over and in Colress.
Huh.
Which is interesting because Colress would have drawn him 8 cards.
And kept his supporters back in the deck in case there were actually more turns. So it looks
But
like
he
Brian's...
may be thinking that it's coming down to the final turn here, so just
Yeah,
drawing
he's just
as many
going for
resources
broke.
as possible.
He's going for broke.
Yep, he's trying to KO the Darkrai this turn.
Yeah, as they said the Baby Y still isn't threat. They said you have to attack with it twice.
Yep. So Yveltal is currently doing 120 damage to Israel's active Darkrai EX.
Is that another Duskull in his hand?
Maybe, I didn't notice. It's possible he plays maybe 2-1-2, maybe 2-1-1.
Well, not a 2-1-2. Probably at least... I haven't seen a rare candy,
Yeah.
so... Huh.
Well, let's see.
That's definitely coming
Brian's
down to the wire.
kind of staring at his cards.
Oh, no.
And,
Well, it's Israel's turn. He
shipped the
passed.
turn over. Okay.
Yeah.
And Israel looking for a way to get a KO, but
Well, with the Keldeo active, now you have the potential for a laser on it, and that'll stick it.
yeah, that's true.
Because it's basically going to be the one big... It's coming down for that one big swing for Yveltal right now.
This is actually tough for Israel.
Yeah, no, because as I said, Brian's win condition now is just one really, really big swing from Yveltal EX.
Yeah, I think I want to see Israel. Oh, okay. Here's the catcher.
Maybe not. Oh, going after the
huge catchers from
Bouffant.
Israel, just landing all the heads that he could
Is there a laser?
need.
Is there a laser? There's
He
the
gets
laser.
it. He slams the laser.
And that's game.
That's enough damage. All right.
That was
Israel
actually an
Sosa
impressive
takes this.
third game.
Yeah, very good match.
Yeah, that was
goes
actually
to 3 games.
definitely came down to the wire, and actually right before time. Wow.
Yeah, this game 3 match was very, very good. And we'll be back with round 7 very soon. All right.